What's up, guys? It's currently August of 2026. So with the whitetail season coming up here shortly, I wanted to give you guys a couple videos on the gear I'll be running. This video I want to do strictly my one sticking saddle setup. I want to show you guys the gear I'm going to be running and kind of the best technique I've come up with for climbing. I really want to emphasize being budget. I know this can get to be a pretty expensive hobby. So this is kind of what I've come up with. So this is just the Hawk Helium Apex platform. So when I say one sticking, I don't have a specific one stick that I use to climb the tree. This is what I climb the tree with. So as you can see, it's just a regular saddle platform, and hopefully you guys can see that, I made a 2-step aider just out of webbing. Rather than having a one stick and setting that, climbing that, and doing your moves, I just use this to do my moves. I haven't tried a one stick before, but I mean, I haven't had any problems with this. At some point I'd like to try a one stick with a cam cleat, because I'm sure it is probably a little more efficient. But for me, it's hard to justify spending $400 on a nice one stick setup when this does the job just fine for a fraction of the price. So next we have the saddle itself. It's just the Hawk Helium saddle with the pouch. A couple modifications I did, which you can or can't do at your own risk, is I cut the leg straps off here. They go around your legs just to secure the saddle so it's not moving around, it doesn't twist on you. I got kind of sick of trying to put them on every time, and the buckles for them were metal, so they could get kind of noisy clanking on each other. So I just cut them off. I ran it like that all last season, and I didn't have an issue. And then the bridge, I replaced the Amsteel bridge that it came with some climbing rope. The main reason I did it is because the bridge it comes with isn't adjustable, and it was pretty long. So I added a Prusik knot to it. This is just the carabiner my belay device attaches to, but I just added a Prusik so you can tighten and loosen it to your liking. Go over the climbing rope I use, paired with a Gree. And if any of you guys are into rock climbing, you'll be familiar with this device here. Is how I get up the tree. So if you're gonna one stick, you'll need a belay device. And then this rope is 30 feet. It's 9 millimeters. I can't remember the brand off of the top of my head. I just walked into REI and got a big bundle of rope in this to start one sticking. The last couple pieces of gear that I have on my saddle are my bow rope. So this is 25 feet. I think it's just an HSS bow rope. Works like any other bow rope, but then I also use it as my gear strap for my saddle setup. So when you wrap this around the tree, I then clip it here and use this Prusik knot and move it, and on my bag I have a carabiner, and it'll have this around the tree and hold my bag, and then on the other side I use this S-clip to hang my bow on. So now we're going to climb a tree and kind of show you how I use the gear to make sure I stay in frame here. I'm going to start with the platform pretty low down here and then do one short move just so you guys can see everything. in a real hunting scenario, or if I was actually trying to climb it, I would start with the platform as high as I can reach, and I would do the moves as low and then as high as I can reach. So anyways, you start with, normally your platform would be right on your backpack here if you were hiking out. I just got it off to save some time. Over, just like any other saddle platform here. If I did have my bow, I would pull my rappel rope out. I sewed in a paracord loop, and I would put a carabiner from my bow onto this to pull it up. And one other thing I didn't talk about is I just run a quick link for my rappel rope, like any other rappel rope if you were one sticking. Yeah, and then I added I sewed in a little loop here too for your bow rope when you're pulling it down. Yeah, then when I'm on the ground, I like to get this ready. I'll pull my gree out. I just do this ahead of time so that I'm not standing on this platform unattached from the tree for too long. And I'll grab this bar on the platform as I'm climbing out. And then when I get to this last step here, I'll wrap my left hand around the tree. Alright, now we got our tether attached. And we've done our first move. For my moves using a platform rather than a one stick, it's pretty similar. You still come over to the side. You just undo the cam buckle. Again, normally I like to go as high as I can, but to stay in the frame of the camera here, I will just do a nice easy move here. Just come around. Again, same thing as I mentioned before. So just move your tether up, be comfortable. And then when I get to hunting height, I like to cam over this one more time. And from there, pull out my bow rope. Like I said, I use my bow rope as my gear strap as well, just to save on the equipment you have to bring out. And then I keep a carabiner attached on the D-loop on my bag here, and I add that to the paracord. The weight of my bag just keeps that gear strap right where I want it. Bow hook here, put it on this side, pull my rappel rope up with normally my bow would be on the bottom of it. I'd grab my bow and hang it right here. And then I put my rappel rope either in my bag, or sometimes I just put it right in my dump pouch here. Those are all the steps for climbing with this budget one stick setup, if you want to call it. I'll show you how to get down here now. Normally I'd start with hooking my bow back up to this rappel rope, and then I would slowly let that down, backpack here, pull it off that strap, and grab the gear strap. The biggest thing you have to remember to do is to put it on that sewn in loop up here, like I mentioned, or you can just put it right on the quick link or on the rope. But you got to make sure you attach it to your rappel rope somehow, otherwise if you rappel down, you don't have that, you have no way of getting your rappel rope off of the tree. And from there you just rappel down a little bit so you can grab your platform. And you can either hold it, attach it to your bag, or drop it down. I usually just hold it. Pull it down, then you just pull off your gree-gree. And then make sure these two ropes aren't all tangled up together. And then just pull on your gear strap here. Figure 8 these ropes back up. I've learned doing figure 8s keeps them from knotting up in your pouches or your bag or wherever you store them. So that's all my gear and how I use it for saddle hunting. There's a lot of gear and steps involved. So if you have any questions or if I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I mainly wanted to put this video out there just for people who are getting into it and need a more budget-friendly option, because it can be pretty hurtful on the wallet if you go out and buy all the mainstream gear. Again, comment down below if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.